Okay, picture this. You're 64, you're this acclaimed immunologist, right? And you've finally done it the ultimate digital detox.
Hmm.
3 weeks deep in the American mountains, totally intentional silence, phone's completely off, you've escaped the noise, trading emails for just isolation. Idaho, Wyoming, Montana backcountry.
And then, bang, isolation shattered. Your wife just screams.
Yeah.
And when you're that far out, I mean, your first thought isn't, oh, someone forwarded a funny cat video. It's danger. Our sources say this scientist, Fred Ramsdell, he genuinely thought, like, grizzly bear, attack imminent.
Okay, let's pause right there because the threat wasn't a bear. It was global recognition. That scream, it was the Nobel Prize Committee. Finally, after days of trying, they actually got through. Welcome to the deep dive.
So today, yeah, we're diving into two, well, pretty extraordinary stories woven together.
Yeah.
First, the unbelievable, almost comical tale of Fred Ramsdell winning the 2025 Nobel Prize in Medicine while he was totally unreachable.
Completely off grid.
Completely.
Yeah.
And second, maybe more importantly, we're going to break down the actual science, the really profound discovery about our immune system that earned him and his colleagues this huge honor.
Right. We're using the official reports about the 2025 Nobel announcement, focusing on, well, just how hard it was for the committee to even tell him he'd won. And we'll unpack the details of this foundational achievement in immunology.
Yeah.
But we have to start with that contrast. Ramsdell bracing for a bear attack, only to get the news that changes everything.
And it's just the perfect story of high drama, low connectivity. So Ramsdell, the immunologist, he's on this planned hiking and camping trip, 3 weeks with his wife, Laura O'Neill, crossing just stunning remote terrain. And his phone, correctly, sensibly, on airplane mode. He was really, truly prioritizing life outside the lab for a bit.
And wow, what a commitment to disconnecting. Because while he's out enjoying the wilderness back in Stockholm, you have Thomas Perlmann, the Secretary General of the Nobel Committee, probably tearing his hair out.
Oh, absolutely. They'd announced a prize in medicine on Monday. Big global news. But Ramsdell, utterly unreachable.
Gone. It's this very formal, highly structured organization, global timeline, everything's synchronized. And they're trying to make the world's most anticipated phone call.
Right.
And they're just completely stumped by one guy's hiking trip.
Yeah, Perlman even mentioned later the sort of anxiety of it all.
Yeah.
Knowing they've delivered this massive, life-changing news, but the main guy has absolutely no idea. He's just hiking.
And the moment they finally connected, it wasn't like some crackling satellite phone call from a mountaintop. It was ridiculously ordinary.
Total mundane.
Yeah.
They were actually heading back towards civilization, Ramsdell and his wife.
Yeah.
Stopped the car to fix something minor. A flat tire, maybe? Something like that.
Okay.
And just during that little pause, O'Neill switches her phone back on. Just checks it.
Cue the avalanche.
Pretty much. The floodgates just open. Suddenly, dozens and dozens of messages pop up. Texts, emails, missed calls, congratulations from everyone, friends, colleagues, people in the science world who'd obviously heard the news already.
Wow.
And that's when she realized, oh, something big happened while we were, looking at rocks.
So the moment was so unexpected. Ramsdell's reaction later, when they finally got him properly on the line from a hotel in Montana, it was just pure shock.
Yeah, he apparently said he certainly didn't expect to win the Nobel Prize. And added, very honestly, it never crossed my mind.
You gotta love that.
The irony is just fantastic, isn't it? He reaches the absolute summit of scientific recognition while he's deliberately cut off from the whole system that gives out that recognition.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much vital stuff, maybe the most important information, is just waiting out there, completely separate from the constant stream of notifications we're all glued to.
Exactly. Sometimes the world actually has to work pretty hard to find you, not the other way around.
And that life-changing call, when it finally came, was all about T cells. Which brings us to the science itself. This discovery was so fundamental, it explains why everyone was so desperate to reach him.
Right. So let's talk about the prize itself. Ramsdell shared the 2025 Medicine Prize with two other really crucial scientists, Mary Brunkow from the Institute for Systems Biology in Seattle,
Okay.
and Shimon Sakaguchi from Osaka University in Japan.
So a collaborative effort, clearly.
Absolutely. Together, they were recognized for basically rewriting our understanding of how the immune system keeps itself in check, its checks and balances.
And just to ground this, the prize itself, financial.
Oh, yeah, it's significant. 11 million Swedish kroner, which works out to about 871,400 pounds. Split three ways, of course.
Okay. So the core science, it revolves around T cells.
T cells, yeah. They're a type of white blood cell produced in the bone marrow. We often talk about them as the immune system's sort of special forces or security guards.
Security guards, I like that analogy. What do they guard against?
Well, they do two main things. They help flag invaders like viruses or bacteria, and they also directly kill cells in our own body that have become infected or turned cancerous.
So they're hunters and killers, essentially.
Exactly. But here's the big puzzle they solved. For decades, immunologists knew T cells were good at killing threats. The mystery was, how do they know not to kill, us?
Yeah.
Our own healthy tissues.
Ah, okay. How do they tell the difference between a flea virus and, say, a perfectly healthy liver cell?
Precisely. That's the concept of self-tolerance, how the immune system tolerates self while attacking non-self.
So if the T cells are the security guards, did Ramsdell, Brunkow, and Sakaguchi basically discover the security guard's rulebook? The instructions saying, don't shoot this guy, he works here.
That's a perfect way to put it, yes. They pioneered the discovery and the understanding of a very specific type of T cell. They're called regulatory T cells, or TREGs for short.
TREGs.
So if your standard T cells are the soldiers, the fighters, the TREGs are more like the military police or the peacekeepers. They manage the soldiers. They basically tell the aggressive T cells when to stand down.
Right, they regulate the response, hence the name.
Exactly. They suppress the immune reaction when it's not needed or when it's targeting the wrong thing.
And this is crucial because, well, sometimes the immune system gets it wrong, right? Autoimmune diseases.
That's the key. When a normal T cell mistakenly identifies the body's own healthy tissue as an enemy, like the insulin-producing cells in type 1 diabetes or the joint linings in rheumatoid arthritis that's autoimmunity, the body attacks itself.
A catastrophic failure of that self-tolerance mechanism.
Right. And discovering these TREGs helped explain why that sometimes happens, and more importantly, how the body normally prevents it. It revealed this whole layer of internal control.
So understanding TREGs, this isn't just theoretical. It opens up treatment possibilities.
Massively. Think about it. If you have an autoimmune disease where the immune system is overactive, maybe you could boost the activity or the number of these TREGs to calm things down.
To suppress that unwanted attack.
Exactly. But then there's the flip side, cancer.
Ah, because cancer cells are technically cells that have gone rogue.
Right, and cancer is incredibly clever.
Yeah.
Sometimes tumors actually manage to attract TREGs or sort of trick the TREGs into protecting them. The TREGs then tell the killer T cells, nope, nothing to see here, move along, effectively shielding the tumor from the immune system.
Wow. So TREGs can be good, stopping autoimmunity, but bad if they protect cancers.
Precisely. It's a delicate balance. And this discovery is absolutely fundamental to the huge boom we're seeing in immunotherapy for cancer.
Which is all about harnessing the patient's own immune system to fight the tumor.
Yes. So now researchers are working on ways to, for instance, block TREG activity within a tumor to sort of take the brakes off the immune system locally, allowing the killer T cells to go in and attack the cancer.
So this work, by Ramsdell, Brunkow, and Sakaguchi, it's not just an interesting finding. It's really provided the toolkit, the understanding needed for these revolutionary new treatments.
Absolutely. It impacts millions of lives. It's truly changed the landscape. And that's the magnitude of the news Ramsdell missed while he was, fixing his car somewhere in Montana.
Incredible. Now, as amazing as his specific gone fishing story is, you mentioned this isn't totally unique. Contacting Nobel winners is often problematic.
Oh, it's a recurring theme. A continuous source of, frustration and sometimes high comedy for the committee. It really highlights this weird gap between the extreme formality of the prize and the sometimes chaotic reality of people's lives.
So even with Ramsdell, Perlmann didn't reach everyone immediately?
No. Initially, on that Monday, he only managed to get through to Sakaguchi in Japan. He speculated the others, Brunkow and Ramsdell, probably had their phones on silent or just ignoring calls from unknown Swedish numbers, which, is fair enough.
Fair enough, yeah. Can you think of other classic examples? You mentioned comedy.
Oh, there's some great ones. You absolutely have to mention Bob Dylan in 2016 won the Literature Prize and just ignored it for days. Complete silence. Left the Swedish Academy hanging.
Just total radio silence. Bold move.
Very bold. And then sometimes it's just tragic timing. The 2011 Medicine Prize. That was awkward. They announced the winners, only to find out shortly after that one of them, Ralph Steinman, had actually passed away just 3 days earlier.
Oh no, they didn't know.
Apparently not. Major lapse, really. But for pure human awkwardness, the 2020 Economics Prize story is hard to beat. It rivals Ramsdell's bear scare.
Okay, what happened there?
So Bob Wilson at Stanford gets the call. Middle of the night, the Nobel Prize call. And what does he do?
Let me guess. Airplane mode.
Worse. He thought it was spam or just noise. He unplugged the phone.
You unplug the phone.
Yep, the committee actually had to call his wife's phone instead to get through.
That is commitment to uninterrupted sleep. Amazing.
But it gets better.
Crying.
Because then Wilson had to break the news to his co-winner, Paul Milgram, who lived nearby.
So he had to go wake him up.
Literally had to go knock on his door in the middle of the night. And the sources say Milgram's doorbell security camera caught the whole exchange. Milgram, clearly half asleep, just responds to the news of winning the Nobel Prize with, "Yeah, I have. Wow."
Just peak sleepy academic confusion. Wow.
Exactly. Wow.
It's that contrast, isn't it? The immense global significance, the history, the formal announcement, crashing into these incredibly human, sometimes clumsy moments. Fixing a car, unplugging a phone, answering the door in your pajamas.
Absolutely. It shows that even now, when information flies around the planet instantly, delivering news that genuinely changes someone's life forever, that's still messy. It's still subject to human habit, location, and whether someone decides they just really need their sleep.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. We've done our deep dive into these two connected threads. First, the critical science, the discovery of TREGs, the immune system's rulebook, which is genuinely changing medicine.
Ramsdell, Brunkow, and Sakaguchi's work is saving lives, driving new therapies. It redefined how we see the body's internal checks and balances.
And second, Ramsdell's accidental adventure. Going off-grid and forcing the world, quite literally, to wait for him. The biggest news imaginable only got through because he stopped looking for news.
Such a powerful metaphor for our times, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
He had to disconnect for the most important connection to happen.
So I guess the final thought we want to leave you with is this. We live in this hyper-connected world, constantly worried about missing out, FOMO, right? Refreshing feeds, checking notifications nonstop.
Yeah, the digital noise.
But Ramsdell's story is maybe a reminder. Sometimes, maybe the truly essential knowledge, the life-altering stuff, isn't in that stream. Maybe you only find it when you switch off. What profound insight, what really big news might be waiting for you if only you decided to worry more about the potential grizzly bear than the unread email.